Before a single word leaves your lips, something powerful is already happening inside your mind. Confidence is born in silence long before it is heard in sound. Many people believe that fluent English speakers are confident because they know more words or better grammar. But the truth is much deeper than that. Confidence does not begin in the dictionary, it begins in belief. The moment you start believing that your voice matters, your tone changes, your posture changes, and slowly your language begins to change too. Fear is usually the first language we learn when we try to speak English. The fear of being judged, the fear of making mistakes, the fear of not sounding perfect. But perfection was never the requirement for connection. Think about a child learning to speak for the very first time. That child does not wait for perfect grammar. That child speaks with courage, with curiosity, and with complete trust that their voice deserves to be heard. Somewhere along the journey of growing up, we replace courage with hesitation. Today is the day to take that courage back. Your mind is always listening to the story you tell yourself. If you keep saying, "My English is weak," your confidence will become weak. But if you begin to say, "I am learning, I am improving, and I am brave enough to speak," your mind will slowly align with that truth. Words spoken inside the mind are the seeds of the words spoken outside in the world. Change the inner sentence, and the outer sentence will follow. Confidence is not loud. It is calm. It is the quiet decision to try again after stumbling. It is the strength to continue speaking even when your voice shakes. And with every small attempt, the shaking becomes steadiness, the hesitation becomes flow, and the fear becomes freedom. So before you work on sounding fluent, work on believing you are worthy of being heard, because the strongest voice is not the most perfect one. It is the one that refuses to stay silent. Fluency is often imagined as a sudden transformation, a magical moment when one day you struggle to form a sentence and the next day words flow effortlessly. But real growth is rarely dramatic. It is quiet, repetitive, and almost invisible in the beginning. The truth is that powerful fluency is not created in long, exhausting study sessions done once in a while. It is created in small daily moments of courage and consistency. Just a few minutes of speaking English every day can begin to reshape the way your brain thinks. When you practice daily, your mind stops translating every word and slowly starts understanding the language as a feeling, not a task. These small repetitions build rhythm, and rhythm builds comfort. What once felt difficult begins to feel natural, and what felt impossible begins to feel simple. Many people wait for the perfect time to start serious practice. They tell themselves they will begin tomorrow, next week, or when they feel more prepared. But confidence does not come before action, it grows because of action. Even 5 honest minutes of speaking today are more powerful than hours of planning for a future that never arrives. Progress loves consistency more than perfection. Think of a drop of water falling on a stone. One drop seems meaningless, almost too small to matter. But when the drops continue every single day, the stone slowly changes shape. In the same way, each small practice session leaves a mark on your confidence, your pronunciation, and your courage. You may not notice the change immediately, but one day you will realize that the sentences you once feared are now the sentences you speak with ease. Do not underestimate the power of showing up for yourself daily. Speak a little, listen a little, read a little, and most importantly, believe a little more each day. Great fluency is simply the result of many small promises kept quietly over time. One of the greatest fears people carry when speaking English is the fear of making mistakes. The moment a word is pronounced incorrectly or a sentence is formed imperfectly, the heart begins to race, and silence suddenly feels safer than speaking. But what if mistakes are not signs of weakness? What if they are actually evidence of courage? Every person who speaks fluently today once spoke with hesitation. Every confident voice you admire was built on hundreds of imperfect sentences that no one applauded. Growth has never been a clean, perfect journey. It is messy, uncomfortable, and sometimes embarrassing, but it is also honest. And honesty is where real learning begins. When you make a mistake while speaking, something powerful is happening inside your brain. You are testing new sounds, new structures, and new expressions. Your mind is stretching beyond what is familiar, and that stretching is the exact place where improvement lives. Silence may protect your pride for a moment, but speaking, even imperfectly, builds your future. Think about how children learn to walk. They fall again and again, yet no one calls those falls failures. We celebrate them because each fall proves the child is trying. In the same way, every incorrect sentence you speak is proof that you are moving forward. The only true mistake is choosing not to try at all. The world does not remember your grammatical errors as strongly as you imagine. People remember your confidence, your effort, and your willingness to communicate. Connection is created through courage, not perfection. When your intention is clear, even broken sentences can carry beautiful meaning. So allow yourself to be a learner without shame. Give yourself permission to sound imperfect today so that you can sound powerful tomorrow. Replace embarrassment with curiosity. Replace fear with action. And most importantly, keep speaking even when your voice feels uncertain. Before we learn how to speak with confidence, we must first learn how to listen with intention. Listening is often seen as a passive act, something quiet and secondary, but in truth it is one of the most powerful teachers of fluency. When you listen deeply to English, through conversations, speeches, stories, and even simple daily dialogue, you begin to understand more than just words. You begin to feel rhythm, emotion, pauses, and the natural music of the language. And confidence is hidden inside that music. Many learners focus only on what they want to say, worrying about grammar, vocabulary, and correctness. But confident speakers are not only good at speaking, they are excellent at absorbing. Their ears train their voices. Without realizing it, the mind starts copying pronunciation, tone, and flow. Slowly, the unfamiliar becomes familiar, and the difficult becomes comfortable. This quiet transformation begins not with speaking low, odor, but with listening better. Deep listening also removes fear. When English surrounds you regularly, it stops feeling like a foreign challenge and starts feeling like a natural environment. The brain relaxes because it recognizes patterns. Words no longer appear as separate pieces to translate. They arrive as meaning to understand. And when understanding becomes easier, speaking becomes lighter. Confidence grows gently, without force. There is also humility in listening. It teaches patience, presence, and respect for the journey of learning. Instead of rushing to sound perfect, you allow yourself to observe, to notice how emotion changes tone, how pauses create power, how simplicity can sound strong. These small observations slowly shape your own voice until one day you realize you are not imitating confidence anymore. You are living it. So spend time each day simply listening with awareness. Let the language enter your mind without pressure. Let your ears guide your tongue. Trust that every moment of deep listening is preparing you for clear and fearless expression. There comes a moment in every journey when you realize that learning English is not only about language, it is about possibility. What once felt distant begins to feel reachable. The words you practice in quiet rooms slowly become keys, and those keys begin to open doors you once believed were meant for someone else. Opportunities that look too far away start moving closer, not because the world changed, but because you did. Your voice in English carries more power than you may understand today. It allows you to share your ideas beyond borders, to learn from people you may never meet in your hometown, and to step into spaces where confidence and communication create new futures. Language is not just sound, it is access. And when access expands, life expands with it. But the most beautiful door that English opens is not outside, it is inside. It is the door of self-belief. The moment you express a thought clearly in another language, something shifts within you. You begin to see yourself as capable, adaptable, and brave. This inner transformation is greater than any certificate or achievement because it changes the way you walk through the world. You stop asking, "Can I?" and you begin saying, "I will try." There will still be challenges. Some days words will come easily, and other days they will feel heavy on your tongue. Yet every step forward, no matter how small, is moving you toward a wider horizon. Do not measure your progress only by fluency. Measure it by courage, by persistence, and by the dreams that are slowly becoming realistic instead of impossible. Remember that many doors in life do not open with force, they open with preparation. Every sentence you practice, every mistake you learn from, and every moment you choose courage over silence is quietly shaping a future where you are no longer limited by fear. One day, you will stand in a place you once only imagined, and you will realize that it all began with the simple decision to keep speaking. So never underestimate the power of your voice, because the language you are learning today is building the life you will live tomorrow.